Optimus Prime.
All right.
Like something similar to that.
Leave me alone. The slender pony approached regardless. The static screeched at her as it drew closer. Pain shocked her body from one side to the other, as blood seemed to splatter and cloud her vision, turning the world red. She fell to her knees, trying to grasp reality, before the pain and sound became too much to bear. There was a hole in her body, like the time I had a hole in my chest several times, yet I continued to reassemble myself. Autobots, do not question this. She could feel the worms wriggling in it, crawling up into her torso. They were eating her alive. The pain clawed into her very soul, but yet death would not come. Her body laid there, unflinching as the insects had their way, feeling every wriggle and slime in their bodies as they slid under her skin. Autobots, even the Decepticons would not do something as revolting. Let us get out of here.
Well, I guess the Autobots are gone.
Who's left to protect everybody from all the Energon peeps?
Well, we have those cartoon characters. They can do something, right?
Yeah, I believe they could. Remind me, what do you do again besides bitch and whine?
I don't know. I think they do. I don't know.
The last thing we need is an animated trio of Shia LaBeoufs.
I guess there's no hope for the human race after this. I'll just huddle in my hole and die.
Okay. Let's see.
So, yes, the next paragraph. And probably, I'll do the next two sentences after that.
Play your best droopy dog impression. Bones crunched as her teeth as bones crunched in her teeth as blood dripped down her chin. The fresh taste of gooey flesh slid down her throat. Sharp teeth bored down again into the side of the pony's neck as the pony's head fell from her body. Oh dear. Giving her a good chunk of flesh to chew. The taste was revolting, but she craved it. She had to have it. She had to have more. Her teeth dug into the pony's skull, crushing the skull as the inner organs began to dribble into her mouth. She had to have more. This one would never be enough. The screams had died down now, but that wouldn't last for long. Why? Why are you doing this? It was painted and frantic cry of rain. It was the pained and frantic cry of Rainbow Dash. She could see her tied down on a table, wings already sawn off by her own hooves. Seems like a fun turn of events. You know what? I'm slightly disturbed.
Be disturbed. We're scared.
Come on, don't make me have you write a term paper on what this fic means. It's better.
That's better.
Let's see.
Let's see. Raised a hoof. We'll do the next two paragraphs. Okay. A kind of like a mother reading to her children.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Oh, Rainbow Dash. Every pony dies sometime. Her voice betrayed her as she pulled out a scalpel.
I'm sorry. Oh, there we are.
Scalpel. It means the same goddamn thing. It's a simple concept, really. You just have to think, did my life meaning anything? Did I die with a purpose? Will my memory be left when I'm gone? All the important questions, you see. She walked towards Rainbow Dash. She could feel the murderous intent grasping at every fiber of her being. Ooh. But Rainbow Dash hiccuped through the pain and tears. I won't have died for a good purpose. If you kill me, Rainbow sobbed. How could you do this to me? Ooh.
Mommy, I'm scared.
You will enjoy this story and you will like it.
But it's so dark.
Too bad.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Next two paragraphs. Screw it. Do Schwarzenegger.
She raised her hoof and patted Rainbow Dash's face. God, it's weird. She leaned in close to her. There was an attraction she could never describe and feeling that felt before. Her breath was hot as her body betrayed her mind. Oh, Rainbow Dash, if you don't know the reason by now, you'll never understand. This is just how things have to be. She stepped back from her prisoner. Rainbow only looked confused, but she would rectify that look. She grabbed her scaffold and placed it at the base of Rainbow's hip. She sliced down her leg. Pain overtook Rainbow's face and voice as she began her delicate slicing operation. After all, she had to prepare for the ingredients to be just right. Cupcakes.
Come on, I could read better than that.
I know, I'm pretty horrible with that.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Governor.
Yes. Let's see.
What you got?
An old man describing his past.
Okay. Like you mean an old like this? Hey, maybe an old like this.
Maybe an old like this.
Oh, right.
Twilight stumbled back, her head kicked back instinctively, wanting to escape from the horrors inside Pinkie's mind. Twilight crashed into a bookcase, causing a kind of books to fall onto her. She was breathing heavily, frantic and panicked. The spell had only taken a few seconds to complete, but the rush of all the dream memories flooded her all at once. Oh, those were the days. Those dreams were horrific and surreal. She had felt everything in those dreams, even though dreams should not normally contain such vivid feelings. Sorry. That's my smoker's cough catching up to me. The monster that attacked her. The feel of bugs crawling all throughout her skin and organs. The gagging taste of flesh in her throat. The torture. The act she had committed. She wanted to vomit. Oh, that reminds me of the time where I had to go through 20 straight hours of marathon projectile vomiting after I saw 50 Shades of Grey. It was not a good weekend.
Huh? What? Yeah, okay, that's cool, Grandpa. Yeah, whatever.
My wife was dead after the ending credits.
Yeah, you tell me about your life, whatever. So, from Twilight to now.
I kind of like the old, sort of, Kermit-y kind of thing you had there. Why not do that?
Kermit
Yeah,
the
hi-yo.
Frog? Oh, okay, here we go. Twilight came a scared, timid, almost hushed voice. Twilight snapped at her thoughts and looked up at her pink friend. She was trembling in fear as tears streamed down her eyes. She was right. These were horrible dreams Pinkie was having. The dreams were terrifying to her. The dreams that she had come to her for help with. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta get that voice back.
Pinkie, Twilight frantically muttered, swallowing back her own emotions and stomach contents. I had no idea, Twilight said shakily getting to her feet and slowly walking back to the door. Back to her friend. She had to be strong right now. I'm a big boy.
Come up with the concept of there being a door word instead of a friend word, eh?
I don't hear you.
Okay,
So
Sure.
we'll do the next paragraph and then, yeah, very good paragraphs up next. That's good. Yes, Stewie Griffin.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Oh,
Twilight. Pinkie sniffed through her sobs. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you saw them. She closed her eyes, gasping for air through her sobs. Twilight quickly moved next to Pinkie, taking her into an embrace to hold her tight. Oh, snugly. Pinkie cried desperately into Twilight's shoulder. Twilight held her dear friend, making sure she knew she had all of her support. The images, may have made her stomach twist, but her friend was more important than that. Oh, that's so lovely.
You a lovely sentiment.
Let's see.
Yes, you can do a Grudge impression.
How about the precious Smeagol?
His voice is far. It's weird. You know, in the back of your throat.
Kind of like that.
Watch, you got it down. Okay. It's okay, Pinkie. Twilight said once Pinkie's sobs had started to calm down. I can see how much these dreams have been eating at you. The Pinkie in those dreams is not you. So we just have to figure out why you're having them.
Keep having those dreams. They are the precious.
Twilight said, letting her friend know that she had in fact kept her promise. Oh, she hates the promises.
She loves the promise. No, we love
No. The Pinkie in her arms was nothing like the Pinkie that appeared in the dreams. Pinkie slowly nodded her head in agreement before finally being able to stop her tears and let go of Twilight. Twilight turned back to her book and flipped a few pages. They'll die.
Excellent.
Oh, that's so excellent, is it not?
Oh, it's a lovely fan fiction.
Makes me all tingly.
Just all tingly around me.
Let's see. Something that we don't usually do. So you'll do the next two paragraphs. That's
Okay.
pretty good. Dreams, read a couple of stuff. So reminiscing. I know that that's kind of what the character is going to be doing. An old chain-smoking woman.
I'll even switch it up a bit. I'll have her have one of those little smoke machines near her esophagus. Like,
since we know it's not your diet, we need to determine if it is because of recent events or if it is something much deeper in your psyche. So let's start there. When did the dreams start happening? Well, Pinkie rubbed her face trying to dry some of it. The dream started about a few days after the Grand Galloping Gala, and they've been happening about every night for the last 2 weeks. They didn't happen one night after I did change my diet, but then they just came back the next day. Pinkie tried... Pinkie said trying to recall how often she had them.
Oh my, that sounds like it's
Not really. Once you get in a certain place, it's not really that difficult.
Especially when it's part of your throat.
okay. Yeah, but yeah, actually, after doing it for a while, it does kind of start to scratch a bit. But that was too fun to give up.
Yeah. So wait, was it Twilight Wondered, right? That's where you stopped.
Yes. No.
Okay,
No,
so well, I'll do the rest
Actually,
of
it
this
was
paragraph.
well, the gala was a pretty big incident. That's where you started. So do the next two. Okay.
Well then, Net Gala was that is
Yeah,
where I'm starting.
Well, the gala was a pretty big incident to
Okay.
to keep better in touch. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see.
We shall think of a different voice to use.
Actually, the one you just did might be a good choice. Let's go with that.
Alrighty. Well, the gala was a pretty big incident. You certainly seemed fine at the donut shop. But what about after that? I know you said you had some business to attend to before you headed back to Ponyville. So, we didn't see you again till we were heading to the chariot, Twilight wondered. Well, after that, I'd spent some time with you guys. I went and met my sister, Octavia. She was the one playing the cello on the stage during the gala. She was the main reason I was able to get away with my music antics while there. I wanted to go thank her for helping me try and living things up. Pinkie said, recalling the night, she was a little mad at first for the mess I'd caused, but she forgave me and we ended up having a fun time, and we both had and what we'd both been up to since we'd left the farm. We reminisced, of course. After a little while, it was time for me to go, so I promised we'd keep better in touch, and since then I haven't talked to her a single time. Not even through the mail. I'm a douche.
Nice. Okay, I'll do Twilight Ponder this too. Again, there was nothing negative though.
Again. Yes, again. No, stuff. A very fancy man. He's been in proper society for the longest time, so he doesn't want to give up his traditions.
Yes, I believe I do have these sort of traditions. I do not want to give up to these common folks. No! Twilight pondered this. Do you think it was that meeting with your sister that started the dreams? Twilight asked curiously. I wouldn't understand that if she did, Pinkie said, putting a hoof to her chin in thought. We had fun that night. There wasn't anything that she said that was negative. Have you gotten a letter from her yet? I did get one, but it was just letting me know that she was going to be performing a concert in Philadelphia. She said that her band was touring around so that if I wanted to send her letters, I'd have to address them to her band, since the mail carriers know where they'll be. Pinkie said, tilting her head in thought. Again, there was nothing negative, though.
Oh, my.
I was...
So, I'll go from well to
Oh, yes,
smile.
I do believe I was channeling my inner upper crust, if I say.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's switch it up a bit by doing your best, Shatner, if you will.
Oh, okay. So,
yes,
here we
just
like
don't forget to
this.
have certain areas where you pause.
You pause for
reason,
no
Speed up
good
every
reason.
single sentence that comes afterwards, and then back to normal.
Well, what about the last 2 weeks then? You seemed mostly fine. Other than a few instances where you weren't as chipper. Twilight said, remembering Pinkie Pie was a little less hyper than usual the last few days. She certainly couldn't. She certainly could understand why now, though. No, nothing significant. I've been throwing more parties because of the dreams, but it just hasn't been life as usual in Ponyville. Pinkie said, shaking her head slowly. I see. Twilight went back to consulting her books, scanning the pages of the book, flipping through some more, looking for what would be the best way to handle this. Here we are. It's another spell. This one is called the Mind Delve. Its intention is to find the source of your problems. It'll let us find out why you're having these dreams, but be it a minor or major reason. Twilight said confidently. So don't worry, Pinkie Pie. I'm going to make sure you'll be all better in no time. She gave her friend a confident smile. Thank you, Twilight, Pinkie said, giving a soft smile back.
I would say, my friend, even some of those instances where you were clearly messing up the words did fit with what suggestion I gave you.
Yes.
Ooh.
Goody. Even though they were clear screw-ups.
Okay, I'll do the next two. Give me what you got.
Okay, let me think. Do your best, John.
All right. The book says the spell can be a little disorienting at first, but then you'll get used to it. You ready? Twilight asked. Pinkie gave her a nod. Then he goes nothing. Twilight said, taking a deep breath as she concentrated more. Her horn flaring up with light.
She lowered it towards Pinkie's forehead and gently torched her. I'll get my sword for you, Danny.
Eat your peas.
No, Dad! Don't make me! I see it!
Eat your peas, son.
Let me continue on!
Eat your peas. All right.
Pinkie's mind did a flip. It felt like it fell into a hazy fog. She lost track of her surroundings, feeling like she was falling from a very far height. The world was spinning around her as she felt wind rushing past her. Her stomach was rolling inside of her, and she was inside this intense feeling. She wondered just how long she was going to feel this way. When she finally felt the world stabilizing with thud that knocked the wind right out of her. You know, clip-clop like a horse. What?
Horse.
Fun
Just eat
fact,
your
I
peas.
haven't actually watched a lot of JonTron. I only know how he sounds like just from certain clips that my friend Toon Critic keeps on sending me.
Yeah, I don't think you'd. You tried your best.
Hey,
but
I
it was the
wasn't
best.
trying to do the best as friends who gave me.
You were just trying to do
I was
something.
doing a whole mishmash of stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'll do the next two paragraphs in that, we must cross the darkness to see the light.
How about do a bit of Stallone, go see my new movie.
Yeah, you gotta see me wrestling, and it'll be a good
Make sure
time.
you have your jaw
Yeah.
hinged a little bit to make it,
Make it a very genuine type of impression. She gasped for breath, coughing a bit before feeling a sensation of the ground beneath her. She lifted her head up and looked, and shook it lightly before slowly opening her eyes. She was still in the library, but that was for sure. But Twilight was missing. Why would she have left her alone in the library? Twilight, she called out, but the only thing that came back was a hollow echo. This was bizarre. The library seemed very eerily quiet, even more than usual when Twilight wasn't around. My jaw's broken. See? She looked onto the table, noticing two things on it, a bag and a note. She carefully read the words on the note. You must cross the darkness to see the light. You see what I'm talking about? The note said darkness to see the light. Yeah, the steps, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so from Pinkie to it. We'll go it.
Actually, that's a little short. Let's go to Lantern back into the bag. Okay.
Yes, okay. So, imagine someone at it's like some docks. They're sea. They go on the sea, not quite a pirate, but they've seen the ocean a lot.
So, like not necessarily a pirate, but I could tell you tales of the sea dog. Right.
Yes.
Pinkie looked at the piece of paper a little confused. Did Twilight write this? If she did, what did it mean? Was she supposed to take this bag with her? Twilight must know what she's doing after all. She wouldn't just abandon her here without a good reason. Pinkie opened the bag, looking to see if there was anything inside it. There were two things inside. The first one was obvious what it was. It was a lantern. Inside was oil with a wick. There was a knob on the side. She assumed it would turn the lantern on. If she was going to use it, She'd have to make sure not to use up all the oil. She gently placed the lantern back into the bag.
Alrighty.
Next two, and after that we only got a few more, then that's the end of chapter 1.
Yes, and then, we'll probably cut this into multiple pieces, if I'm being honest. Yes, because a 1 hour video just doesn't seem as encouraging to watch.
It really doesn't if it's that long now.
Yes, so let's see. How am I going to read this one? These two.
Let me think.
Do 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 do.
Okay, how about okay, it's almost like an announcer, like almost like an announcer voice or like a movie trailer thing, but it's more lighthearted. Like, how you hear like the sort of announcer voice when they preview Disney films? It's like Walt Disney Pictures proudly presents Pirates of the Caribbean in 3D.
In 3D, it's a
Yeah,
happy
something
time
like
here
that.
at
Ready,
Disney.
go.
What is this? She asked as she pulled out a rectangular device. It had a dial on it and an antenna. Yeah, antenna. Yeah. For some reason, I read that weirdly. I should probably push up my glasses. But it wasn't an object. She was familiar with it. It wasn't an object she was familiar with. Yeah. It had a face like a picture on it, with a circle on it that had holes. In her mind, it kind of looked like a miniature photograph. But phonograph. Not photograph. Phonograph. But how would this tiny thing play music?
Are very easy
In
words
her-
to mix up depending on your sense of vision and how it is spelled.
Yes, very, very different. In her hoof, it began to spring to life, playing a soft, static sound. Pinkie dropped it, surprised at the sudden sound. She stared at it as it buzzed. The sound seemed like a bunch of bees being mixed through a DJ table. She poked at the device with her hoof. After a few moments, the buzzing stopped. Pinkie looked confused, but had a gut instinct that it must be something important. She placed it back in her bag.
What will this new adventure entail?
Where will we find our hero in this journey? Why has Twilight disappeared? And what caused said machine to start buzzing? Please find out in the next little bit here.
Coming to theaters this holiday season.
This holiday season, we have an amazing movie for you. Someone at a store trying to sell you something. Actually, no,
Okay.
a carny.
Like they always have that.
You know, that
almost
weird,
like a Harvey
down-
Fierstein kind of thing.
Yeah, you want to win a
Oh, yeah, I
prize?
can
We
do
got
that.
prizes over here.
I guess Twilight believes I need
Okay.
this bag. I'll keep to her advice then. Pinkie muttered to herself as she carefully strapped the bag to her back. She then looked around. The library seemed to hold no more clues for the moment, so she decided to step outside. She felt more comfortable now that she had visited Twilight, so maybe she could go visit Rainbow Dash now. Huh? Pinkie said, stopping short of a few feet out the door. A thick fog had fallen all around Ponyville. It was so thick she couldn't even see anything more than a few feet in front of her. She started to shiver as the wind blew by. The temperature had fallen a significant amount.
All right, and then I'll finish us off with this chapter.
Let's see what to end it on.
Yes, what advice to end it with? We figure this out. We'll find it out eventually, I'm sure.
I'm actually trying to blank here. Okay,
Maybe try to do your best, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton? I don't know how I would do a Bill Clinton.
Okay, then let's see.
There's some characters that are generic, but I can't do them.
Okay, sure.
Because I haven't heard them enough.
The seconds of silence, it rains upon the people.
All around you there is nothing.
Okay.
That, pretty much.
What can I do? Johnny Depp? Or maybe try Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow.
What's going on? I've never seen this kind of weather in Ponyville before.
Savvy?
Must be the beer. Oh well. Pinkie asked confused. Did Rainbow Dash do this? Why would she? Pinkie knew she had to find Rainbow and talk to her now. She quickly began to run off towards Rainbow's house. She was in full gallop when she suddenly realized she'd come to a full stop. She skidded along the ground and stopped along an edge, a few pebbles getting kicked loose and falling in front of her. There was a gigantic chasm that had never been in Ponyville right before. It cut right down the road to Rainbow's house. In fact, it cut off the entire outside of Ponyville if you didn't have wings. What's going on? She asked as she started into what seemed like a bottomless pit. I'm a bit confused.
I don't know what's going on here, Sammy.
here.
You come to negotiate, Davy, but look at what I got. I got a jar of dirt.
Look what I got. There's something happening.
I should have put Pirate more in there.
Don't worry about it, Sammy. It was a jolly good. It was a job well done.
Yeah, so we've concluded chapter 1. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you.
If you have any
next
suggestions
time.
for what other types of voices and impressions you want us to do in the next chapter, leave it down in the comments below, and we'll pick out the best ones. Savvy?
Yeah. So, with that said,
Yes.
let's end this
Yes, sir.
recording.
You take good care of yourselves, lads.